for the side of JackeyLove.
You think it's going to be an Ezreal?
It might be an Ezreal and a Leona.
I don't know. It might be an Ezreal.
Meiko looked really good on the champion, and of course, it frees you up when you play Ezreal down the bot lane to get your support roaming around. Of course, Meiko got MVP in that game number 1. That's because his Alistar was so influential. But unlocking that champion from lane, not that champion, Meiko, sorry, from lane, is going to be huge for top esports.
Trying to get any influence on the map. We've seen how important it can be, especially in that mid-game kind of transitionary period for top esports. They've gone with a bit of a harder to execute composition so far, at least in that last game for top esports, but it still worked out for them in the end. Lillia has been consistently banned away by LNG in the first phase. It makes it through, and Tian might just be the best Lillia in the LPL.
Yeah, Havard the Katarina are there for a second. Almost locked it in. Almost.
Nah. But I appreciate the copium. I appreciate the copium.
You're going to end up with a much better champion, and a champion that he has made a name onto the Lillia, as you mentioned, permaban, not just in that series. In a lot of series so far in the playoffs, Lillia has been the subject of either permaban or permapick. Yes! Yes! I am so excited to see Scout on Yone. I don't care what he's playing it against. I don't care if it's his hardest counter being picked by Creme. We need to see that proactivity coming through the Yone, the side lane pressure. Scaling into those late game teamfights. You've got a Braum as well. Great stacking champion in the likes of Yone. You've got the Ashe as well. Incredible stuff so far from LNG. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far.
And I actually really like to see Gala wielding the Ashe. Not only do you have some utility with the pick with the Enchanted Crystal Arrows, but we saw JackeyLove be able to put some decent damage on top of it all as well. So the double Freljordi and bot lane going to come to strength for Gala and Hung. Meanwhile, it's the Corki yet again for Creme.
And now I wonder, you've got a lot of choices down the bot lane for top esports. If you pick any melee champion, it doesn't necessarily have the best time into the likes of a Braum, of course, we all know that. And Ashe Braum lane is a very annoying lane. Constant slows, Qs flying at you from the Braum, can jump forward. I wonder if we're going to see something more utility-based from the side of Meiko. We have seen some Karmas rise up towards a bot lane. And I'm wondering if it could potentially be a case of top esports wanting to play through that bot lane pressure.
I'm actually really looking. I know we haven't talked about him much at all in this series, but WeiWei, he's going to have an important role in this game, in this potentially deciding game for LNG. He's going to have to stop Tian's role, pun intended, yet, if at all possible. It is going to be the Gnar and the Zyra ban in that second phase of top esports, the Leona and the Respect Mordekaiser ban by LNG in that second phase on their side of things. But we'll see what the counter pick is going to be levied over towards. It looks like it's going to be 369 as Meiko will grab the Alistar.
MVP in game number 1 onto the champion, engaging so many crucial fights, finding such incredible targets in the backline of LNG with that champion in game number 1. And now Zika can be a little bit more breathing a sigh of relief, if you will, here, knowing that he will lock in the Ksante, but there's not going to be no more the Geyser on the other side of the ring. However, let me raise you the Gragas card from 369, in which he also got solo kills on, in which he also got an MVP on and had an incredible performance, and he's known for that as well. I'm loving the blue theme that LNG is going for. Triple Freljord, absolutely broken in TFT set 1. I have you know.
That's a throwback. My goodness. Unfortunately, I don't think those buffs are going to be available to them here, maybe as much as they want it to be. See what they end up locking in.
Because a Blizzard coming in,
yeah,
and multi-stun, you know it's working.
They'll be perfectly fine. It is the Ksante in the end, though, for Zika. This has been a comfort pick for him, but it's also something they've relied on to provide stability and won't have that Mordekaiser to kind of make the difference against him. But I do wonder what 369 is willing to take into this. There is a little bit of onus on what 369 has brought, and that is extracting somebody from the team fights very proficiently and going to still have those tools. As the Poppy locked in, he's going to be able to separate a lot of these people away.
Love that. Lots of dashes as well with the Yone, the Sejuani diving forward, the Braum as well. So the Poppy's definitely going to come in clutch. Now, I'm looking at the LNG composition, I'm like, that's great. You've got Gala with long range engage, a Braum, Sejuani. There's so much engage in general, the side of LNG. However, I'm looking at the damage profiles and I'm like, something's lacking. I'm lacking some AP damage. I'm lacking some more damage in general on the side of LNG. That means that if the Gala and Scout fall behind, it's going to be really, really hard to come back and put out those damage numbers in the team fights. While top esports, They've got a pretty...
They're in their home arena. It's the first time we're seeing this team here in the playoffs, and they need to put up or shut up now as Game 3 between LNG and Top Esports kicks off. Just gonna say, the Top Esports logo, very foreshadowed, very Lubick. I don't know. It's just sitting up there staring at LNG.
It's your turn now, LNG. And I'm loving the stacking right here from Top Esports. Usually when you've got Braum Ashe, it's a very good combination for a late level 1 invade to throw enemy jungler off their path. And this is why you see Top Esports right here bundling up as 4 people in this brush, stopping the Braum from entering. They've already warded their bot side of the river. They're going to watch them now walk in, so they are aware of where Hung and Gala are. They're going to be... They will know that they know as well as they clear out this ward.
They know that they know that we know that they know that
everyone
we know.
knows at this point that they know. Yeah.
Do they know?
I think that... Oh, I think they do
does
know.
he know? I don't think he knows.
His best the shy impression right here and being a nuisance to the jungler level 1.
That's really annoying. That's really annoying. I do like that WeiWei just says, I don't want to deal with any of this shenanigans. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go start the wolves. Cool, bro. Thanks. Most passive aggressive way to deal with it.
Bro. Catch your top laner, please.
Come get your mans. All right, come get your mans.
Come get your Yordle. Now, of course, LNG with WeiWei starting topside and being spotted. Tian onto this Lillia has absolute vision. He can just loom behind this wall and just smite that one away.
You give this kind of advantage, this cerebral intelligence just comes through, and it's gonna be taken by Tian. Oh God, WeiWei, how far are you fallen here in this series as the flash has to come through, and that will be massive advantages in the tempo for Tian and for Top Esports.
MVP of summer for a reason. That Lillia has been perma-banned the entire series. You want to leave it open and not pick it away? Tian will say thank you very much and do this to your jungler. Incredible scouting from 369 on that level 1, forcing WeiWei off of his blue buff and entirely stolen away from Tian. Tian can keep invading. He can get his level 3, sneak into that bot lane jungle together with Creme, and try to continuously be a nuisance. The only thing that's stopping him is Gala and Hung have pushed that bot lane, so they will be the first ones to move onto that rotation. So we'll see if Tian wants to push that any further. There's a huge wave underneath Top Esports'.
Yeah, Tian himself being able to kind of change gears a little bit in this third game. It's been very reactive, it feels like, from Top Esports, and then knowing when to pounce. But this is the Top Esports that we've known so well. This is the Top Esports that plays with the vision around the jungle, uses Tian's very, very intense pathing styles to enable the team itself. And what enabled that play was the priority of mid lane gained by Creme to push Scout under his turret.
And a little glance right there at the win rates as well of everything that Top Esports has picked up so far. There was only 1 loss out of 12 games on that Ezreal, and that was it. Every single other champion was undefeated from the picks. I think 369 was the first time onto Poppy as well, so that one doesn't count. But everyone else has not lost on their champion so far. So incredible stuff right there from Top Esports. And talk about picking comfort, right? Because going into game number 3, backs against the wall for LNG, we expected the comfort to come out, and he has. Scout onto the Yone, Zika back onto that Ksante and WeiWei onto the facilitating jungler.
Oh my
no,
God.
Man, he lost another fight. No.
It's just an MVP dip. It's just an MVP dip. He gets a little bit more damage on the smite. He gets a little bit more speed. It's what happens when you take home trophies. I don't know what to tell you.
But that's what I was worried about. I feel like it was always about, you know, Tian getting shot back into his jungle, right? Which was the case in game number 1 and number 2. With Ivern, you don't necessarily invade as much. His Diana was not necessarily what he expected it to be in game number 2, having nobody. He just literally had to survive and perma-clear his jungle until he found his openings. But here with the Lillia, you just give him so much agency to do whatever he wants. And I feel like, again, going back to 369, that level 1 scout, which was permanently been keeping WeiWei in track in Tian's head, and has been permanently invading him. He's almost double the CS up.
I think 369 is just living rent-free in LNG's head. I mean, it all stems from what you were talking about back in 2023, but oh my goodness, this guy in all 3 games have had literally game-defining impacts. And this one coming a little early here. We'll see if it does end up being the case. But the thing is about this early advantage for Tian is you are not catching up with this Lillia's clear speed, especially with the Faded Ashes already completed. And that control leads to top esports being able to contest these neutral objectives, which we know they love to do. We're going to have level 6s coming up, especially for the solo laners. Maybe that influences a little bit of this trade here between them, as there's already a ping coming in from LNG, and WeiWei going to start the Dragon on bot.
Yeah, they call bot lane onto resets. JackeyLove and Meiko are back in base. And you'll see Meiko unleashed towards the top side of the map. They have Void Grubs available as well. So LNG are trying to take that first dragon. Very important, right? They've got massive scaling on their side. They want this Yone to reach those 3 items. We have seen what Scout can do on his Yone with 3 items. So definitely they want to be stalling the game as much as possible. They've got 3 mega tanks and 2 AD carries on their team. So making sure you're stacking dragons early on wins you some time later on. In case Top Esports want to force a few of these fights, of course, having that fed Lillia.
Not much of an advantage either way just yet, and waiting for those big tussles around the next spawn of objectives, obviously, as the first set of grubs will go the way of Top Esports. It was traded for that dragon on the other side. Top Esports, they're looking for a play onto Zika.
Let's see. Oh, Strelsid has to be flashed out. And tire plating going over to 369. Zika loses his flash. He loses TP as well, which makes him kind of a target. Next time you see Meiko or Creme roaming around, Zika has to play a little bit more cautiously towards the top side of the map. However, as you see Lillia on the top tower, you expect your top quadrant to be taken away as well. You see question mark pings landing on WeiWei's blue buff, which I'm assuming that Tian's going to have a lot of great time taken away again.
He's not going to have a job. WeiWei's not going to have anything on the map. Oh, that's so difficult to deal with. He's going to lose his top side as we speak, and unfortunately just going to be looking for something on the map. He's not even level 6 yet, and Tian almost a full level up over him.
Let's watch this one more time. The E. Ooh,
if you don't flash there,
just
you're dead.
about gets flashed out.
Yeah. I feel like they follow through.
Usually, when you're playing Sejuani into a farming jungler, you're expecting to fall behind. However, the value of Sejuani is through her engages, through her early skirmishes. She can show up before that level 6 on a lane and actually dictate the pace of that lane. Take a summoner, take a kill, try to get the laner ahead. However, right now, you definitely don't want to be ganking for Ksante. If you're looking at any lane, it's probably either your bot lane, which has a bunch of setup, or you can play around Scout on this Yone. Perfect. However, that's taking in consideration that you're even with your enemy jungler and you're dropping camps, knowing that you're going to fall behind, but you're putting time into ganking and getting advantages on your lanes. WeiWei has not had the chance to do either. He can't farm because his camps are taken away.
He's level 6.
And since he's already fallen behind, he can't gank either because he's going to fall even further behind. And he's almost 1,000 gold behind already. This is so grim.
He finally hit it. He finally hit level 6. Maybe he finds the influence, as he will have the go buttons for LNG, as well as Gala having that in his hands. And now that we are getting these ultimates, I think LNG have a proper place to try to take fights if they can get these big picks and utilize these enchanted crystal arrows maybe a little bit more soon than we saw JackeyLove utilizing it last time around.
Yeah, so far it has been absolute domination in terms of pressuring the lane, down the bot lane for Gala and Han. I would love to see a little bit more of a capitalization right there. Of course, since you mentioned that WeiWei is level 6, you could potentially be looking for those ultimates. Now, what's really scary right here is that, again, you want Gala and Scout with 2 items at least on each 3, preferably for Scout onto this Yone, and you need to start stalling the game. There's a few things that are problematic with that. Top Esports can come around from a 4,000 gold deficit. If they're ahead, they're unstoppable. They've got a 93% win rate.
It's crazy what this team can do when they're ahead. They are so oppressive. Oh, Corki is got a little bit of moves, but still will end up going down. As Scout will claim first blood for LNG, and that's huge. The combination coming alive.
Absolutely, WeiWei needed to find an opening right there, getting Scout ahead, taking the flash off of Creme as well. It means that Creme cannot play aggressive on that lane anymore. And it is so important that the kill goes over to Scout. Oh, hold on, WeiWei.
369 stops the back there. Swirl Seed going to go a bit
There's no
wide.
mana.
Scout was actually looking to combine as well. Meiko here, but being pressed on by Scout. Not going to get the Winter's Bite attached to him, so concussive blows will not come through. There is something to think about, though. 20 seconds about till the next spawn of Grubs. This would be Grub again for top esports, and LNG, they don't really have the tools to fight this one or contest.
Not again, please. Please let him get a Grump. Anything from his top side, please, Tian. Ruthless. Tian has been ruthless on this Lillia, permanently invading, taking away camps. 40 CS ahead right now. 10 minutes in and Creme is under attack. There are no TPs for him.
He clears the wave so heftily as that concussive blows does connect. Here comes Scout. He doesn't have the Fate Seal. Oh, Creme going to the Valkyrie. Enchant the Crystal Arrow there too, and Scout picks up another one. This is a massive start for the mid laner of LNG.
They absolutely needed that. I feel like LNG live and die by Scout's sword. No pun intended, because he's playing the Yone right here. But we wanted to see more proactive picks like the Azir, like the Yone. He has been prioritizing this particular champion over any other AD carry throughout the entire season, even though this is an AD carry meta. 2 kills on Scout right now, and he's absolutely set up for success on one of his most successful champions here in the LPL, whilst JackeyLove has taken the entire top lane turret with every single turret plating, skyrocketing himself to a 600 gold lead over Gala.
And I love this for Scout. He's been a little bit non-existent on the Lucian, but you also have to think about this 2024. I mean, this man literally came off a double MVP performance in the entirety of 2023. Then, I mean, LNG fell out real short in the playoffs in spring, obviously setting themselves up better here starting in the double round robin, or double elimination rather. But it's still a story of Scout having a lot of the tools to make this team work.
And I feel like right here, with this top esports composition, they're going to really struggle stopping Scout. This Poppy is going to inevitably stop losing on the side lane. 369 gets cancelled.
Not just yet, though. As he's going to knock away Scout. He'll be able to go right back to his soul. Unbound, and 369 going to be oppressed a little bit, while Zika takes top lane plates for his own.
And that's what made LNG this season. The fact that they can pull out such side lane pressure. 369's backs have been cancelled twice, and this has resulted in a lot of side lane pressure from LNG. Once through that mid lane and once through the top lane right now. 369's going to TP back to his tower, as Meiko's looking for Scout.
That's a Blade of the Rune King completed for Scout. He gets so much damage potential there in those early trades. We also saw the Enchanted Crystal Arrow just utilized by Gala to try to get some play on the bot side, but not going to find it there. Dragon is up. Looks like it might just get started up by WeiWei and Co.
Great stuff for LNG right here. Again, they really need those dragons to try and stall the game. But Tian has not been missing with his smites, man, this game. And he's 1v3. He's contesting.
He's going to have moves now.
No way.
Push up rock. Oh, that was close. Now Tian is able to get away with this flash. Going to pop the Lilting Lullaby right back, though, and it's on to Scout, who's taking a lot of damage. Going to have to burn his own flash back out. Some of that range not going to find the mark there. Scout makes it away, and it will be Dragon taken by LNG.
I'm not gonna lie there, I'm very surprised JackeyLove did not flash to potentially get those kills right there. There's a 2-0 onto Yone, you take him off the map as well. However, here, it was more than enough for top esports to not lose their summoners and get that pressure down. And you see how annoying Tian is on this pick. 1 versus 3. He was holding 3 members of LNG over there. Dashes past Scout's ultimate, as well as getting the sleep tag onto him for top esports to just collapse onto him right after that.
Yeah. I mean, top
It's been great stuff so far, right? 1,000 gold in the lead, and the fact that you're willing to walk 1v3 and no one can stop you shows how scary he is.
Kind of crazy how top esports just magically took 3 plates down there at the back end, like literally 10 seconds left for the plates to fall. Able to scoop up a little bit more gold there, but they will just have a steady about 1,000 gold lead. We go back into the thick of things now, though, as there is a Rift Herald on the other side of the map.
Yeah, they'll rotate 369 towards the bottom of the map, as I see Zika has no teleport for that play. However, because Zika is first to that wave, what he can very easily do, if they want Zika into the fight from the side of LNG, you can shove in that wave and then start dipping into Fog of War. This will create a lot of mind games, as he's doing right now in the river. You're expecting that this Ksante will slowly but surely start moving towards the fight. So this will inevitably be a 5-man group from LNG.
Looks like no contest going to be there, as we did get those Trinity Forces completed, as well as the boot spike for Creme and JackeyLove, but not going to be at the damage profile they want to take these fights yet. And this is some of the strength that LNG have, although Scout going to try to catch down Tian here. He's getting a lot of damage put back on him. Misses the Fate Sealed. He has to get away. He's going to try to fight back. That Enchanted Crystal Arrow maybe makes the difference. He's fighting it, but he doesn't have it. And what did we say? Scout has to be existent, but right now he's in the death realm at top Esports. They found 2 crucial members of LNG and put them on the back foot. All of a sudden, a 3,000 gold lead for the tippy top.
Yeah, top Esports forfeit that Rift Herald, seeing Zika in the mid lane wave, but the second he heads back towards the top side of the bot side of the map, they know they've got the advantage with so much gold onto Lillia. Leandri's already completed. Tian doesn't hesitate, pulls the trigger, doesn't even have to use the ultimate because Meiko saves the day with a double headbutt pulverize right there. And top Esports, again, when they're on a lead, they're one of the deadliest teams over in the LPL. They've taken control of the side lanes as well in LNG. I feel like at this point they're going to have to find more than a Scout magic because he's already 1.2k down.
And we see some of those things we had talked so much about bubbling up to the surface. It's not necessarily a full side lane catch. I mean, the team was right behind him, but the fact that he goes for these early trades, knowing that he is the most important member of this team, and unfortunately not able to connect.
And I feel like his team could have also reacted a little bit faster since Scout is picking up a fight and you see Lillia on your map. You've got WeiWei right there, you've got Hung. I feel like they were a little bit slow to start moving. They prioritized getting this Rift Herald, which inevitably is going to be something very useful for them. They've not been able to take down a singular tower on a side lane. And when you have Yone, you definitely need to utilize that Rift Herald to take some side lane pressure, get some gold back onto him. Scout will set up for success in this game, and currently he has fallen behind in gold to Creme, who has been the better of the 2 mid laners this entire series so far. Now onto the Corki, looking to scale onto that late game.
Isn't it crazy to say? I mean, I just talked about the accolades Scout was earning in 2023. I mean, it literally was his year, but Creme just bubbling up to the surface his own right. I think, yeah, again, I said at the beginning of the day, a lot of people will only know him from his time at internationals, but you also have to remember that was the first internationals for him, especially when you look back to MSI. So I think this guy in Summer Split himself has taken so much more pressure on. They brought in some supportive coaching for him to find out what exactly can make him tick, and we've seen that flex so well with the play style this meta brings, but also that Tian is having one of his best splits.
It also has to do with the champion pool, right? I feel like Tian on those AP junglers gets to shine a lot, as well as Creme on those AD carries. And again, the adaptability of this guy, from assassins to mages to now AD carries. He's adapted not only in every single meta, but he's also left his mark on that adaptation, as now he's going to be TPing towards that mid lane. 10 seconds for next Dragon. There's already 2 on the side of LNG. This would be their sole point. And again, Scout on a side lane, creating some pressure, looking for the tier 1 towards the top side. He's going to back now, buy some items. We're looking for that teleport. What can the Yone do?
Meiko gets the Enchanted Crystal. That's a big tool by LNG. And Creme, far are the days of the Akali OMG one trick. He has showed that he has earned his place on this top esports roster, and now it's LNG looking for a play. They need to get WeiWei out of there. He has no Arctic Assault anymore, and 369 just wants to go for the play there. Trying to use that steadfast presence, stop any dodging back through. Gala able to slow them down a little bit. One big Swirl Seed connects, and a Lilting Lullaby could be following it up any moment.
I felt like LNG were in spectator mode for quite too long. As you'll see, Scout will take the top lane tower, reset back to base, straight onto bot lane, the tempo TP that we call, almost on his second item. They waited too long. They knew that they didn't necessarily want to go for that play. However, that Rift Herald did not end up resulting in a mid lane tier 1, which would have been huge for them. Now 369 deep towards that bot to try and stop Scout from taking another tower down. And again, I said at the beginning, if Scout gets ahead, they're going to really struggle shutting him down in a side lane. Corki without flash is very dangerous to walk up onto a Yone, and inevitably you do outscale the Poppy as well. So we'll see if Scout can continue farming, finding those opportunities, those resources through the side lanes to become that late game monster that we know him to be on Yone.
He's to really have that damage profile, though, for LNG. You talked about it as well earlier. He's a lot of the center damage for this team. He's going to have a lot of say in how these team fights go. Not getting caught in side lanes, not falling prey to some of those nightmares that LNG have wrought on themselves. Oh. Speaking of nightmares, that Gromp is definitely living in Zika's. as he did get second item completion there for Scout. We have no real contest over anything over here, as Gala is going to pull the Enchanted Crystal Arrow out onto Meiko. He pops the Unbreakable Will as well.
Yep, trade-off ultimates right there for Gala. Looking for anything. Oh, the trying to catch JackeyLove.
Oh, a little close. Cleanse does end up coming through. It's 369 doing his best helicopter impression there. Does end up having a shorter cooldown after not utilizing it. But Top Esports and LNG, they're just testing the waters right now, even though Top Esports have the advantage.
Cleanse taken away from JackeyLove as well. Doesn't have to flash. Again, for the side of Top Esports, or any team, when you have Corki plus Ezreal, you're looking to spike on those 2 items. And as I'm looking at right now, JackeyLove completes the Mana Moon as well. So 2 items completed on both of those carries are definitely going to be looking for fights. But the main component, the main ingredient that brings this whole thing together is Tian. And he just finished his Rift Maker as well. He's tankier, he's deadlier, he's definitely gonna be looking to consistently be a nuisance in this jungle, putting down some control wards for his side laners, taking away camps. 190 versus 126. He's 2,000 gold up on his own.
I mean, I'd say there's a reason why it was banned away, and unfortunately other things needed to take priority there, and LNG just haven't looked like themselves at all this series. Maybe this game giving them a little bit more recollection to that as Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out. Scout tries to go forward. That's a lot of tools by LNG, though. They do not have any of their go buttons. Glacial Prison's coming up very soon for WeiWei, and that'll be the only thing they have. Now,
a lot of people might think JackeyLove kind of sold Tian right there, but if you do have your cleanse available, you definitely play more aggressive with the Ezreal. You take the arrow and you cleanse it. Oh, no,
Meiko. I
Meiko.
said he had it back up, but maybe Top Esports baiting them out a little bit there. Zika actually looking for a big angle. He actually finds it here too. Goes for the all-out, taking Creme away from the team, but he's going to flash away. Zika overextends. The Rocket Barrage claims his life, and now Tian is swinging as he comes through onto Hung here too. He actually popped the Lilting Lullabies. Top Esports, they are taken down. LNG Tian is a mile away and still finds the kill on the Scout. And ain't that just the nail in the coffin? A double kill for Tian, and Top Esports turn back to the Baron.
Summer MVP for a reason. Tian on his champion, the Lillia. They take 3 members down from LNG. They're going to pull the TP from Creme as well, take down the Baron. And I feel like I'm having, I wouldn't say deja vu, but I feel like all the games of Top Esports are solidified with a Baron. At least it was for the last 2 games. The team fights into the Barons, and right now is a very well-earned 3 kills for them. Now that Crystal Arrow and this Sejuani engages should be put onto very squishy members. However, Meiko did not have his ultimate available for him, so he ends up tanking that one, and LNG have been constantly trying to find opportunities.
It's just so split.
In this ramp is incredible. If you can walk up, Gala cannot walk up there, or he's going to get caught. So unfortunately,
God,
the damage profile that we talked about, I feel like LNG are just lacking so much of it.
Tian is just so goated. Like, he's literally winning 2 sides of the fight. Yeah, maybe. He's literally winning 2 sides of the fight at the same time, which is just crazy to me. The Lilting Lullaby onto Scout makes that difference, and now Top Esports have this massive lead. This is a Top Esports with a singular focus in mind. They are here to dominate, and they have not stopped. They are in a huge tear, and all that ire, all that hate, all that reminiscing from spring is focused on BLG, who lies right ahead of them in the redemption matchup that we just saw in spring in the upper finals.
7 series win streak Top Esports are coming off of, and this will be their 8th if they finally solidify their victory in that game number 3, as they're pushing both mid and bot at the same time, fully baroned up minions, and Meiko is looking for an engage.
Find one last potential nail in the coffin here. They do have the Baron buff up for another minute and a half. This has been now a lead accrued almost of 10,000 gold for Top Esports, and this 369 Poppy pick, I said earlier, made that one big redeeming play. It seems like it's paid out for them pretty well, as they'll take another tier 2 in mid lane, and they have multi-lanes of threat right now for Top Esports against LNG, and LNG don't have any promise anywhere.
And 369 was straight up engaging onto Scout right there, 1 level up on the Poppy. Gets to take a bit more aggressive trades. He's gonna turn his attention towards that bot lane. They are looking to chip that tower down. Scout gets stunned on the wall.
See if they can actually get it. Is now, okay, True Shot Braum is going to come across.
Oh
They're going to move
God.
into the siege. There's so much poke damage. We've seen top esports do this time and time again. They take a little bit of lead and they balloon it so heavily. They'll take that bot inhib and walk away. Damage is done. A 4,000 gold Baron power play. Ooh, Scout was actually thinking about it, and his hawkshot came through. Does signal the backs from top esports as they'll get back and spend that pretty penny they just got for themselves.
Yeah, and that's the perfect time to walk into your jungle and establish a little bit more vision control for yourselves. It's been so difficult, even though LNG have 3 tanks in their disposal. Face checking into a 3k gold up Corki and a 3.4k gold up Lillia is never an easy choice to do. Everyone is going to melt from the side of LNG. And again, for top esports, you're looking for redemption, right? And this is what a good redemption looks like, especially if you win this series. You're playing up against BLG. You don't want a half-ass series. You don't want a 3-2, you don't want a 3-1. You want a very decisive 3-0 to go up against BLG. BLG is watching right now, seeing what top esports can offer, and this looks scary.
As we know, top esports have been. They take early advantage. They fight you for every objective. They contest you. They keep the pace of play up and at your face. And 369 was actually looking for a little bit of a flank. Will end up finding Gala there. There's a bit of a split push right now by Scout. He does have TP just in case things go a little bit worse for Wear here, but another wave is going to come crashing, and another tier 2 is going to bite the dust.
Scout is trying his best to try and get some resources back onto this Yone. Again, 3 items is what you're looking for onto the Yone to try and make a huge difference into those team fights. But I feel like at this point, top esports are just looking to brute force their way into the base.
Oh, they could just force it. They get hung out of the fight, and then they just take Zika. Oh, it's devastation. The enchanted crystal Lillia comes out from Gala. LNG, they're falling apart. Scout's trying to get back, but he couldn't because the tower is gone and the TP gets canceled. Another inhib falls. Top esports, they're surrounding them here, Trouble, and they're looking at the final turret in the base.
LNG choking the teleports right there. Scout is TPing on a tower that's
Here
literally
goes.
dying in front of his eyes.
They might actually be able to finish out here. It's a little bit dicey. Scout goes forward. Scout goes 2-4. Scout is gone. 8 wins in a row. 8 bullets locked into the chamber, aimed at their nightmare BLG that devastated them in the spring playoffs. Well, it's time to rise to the top, and it's time for redemption as they will move to a 3-0 sweep over LNG, and they will have a destiny date with BLG.
Top esports with an absolutely decimating performance. Every single member stepped up to the task. Every single one of them. In every game, they were the better team top to bottom today. In terms of macro, in terms of tempo, in terms of team fighting, in terms of outhandsing their opponents. And this is the best you can ask for. You're looking at a BLG. You said it. You're looking at a BLG and you want to go into this series. The finals of 2024 spring did not look that great for top esports. But with top esports looking like this and seeing how the last game of BLG looked yesterday, whew.
Oh man, it's going to be a series of all time. I'm calling it right now. It is going to be. There will be time to talk about it. We'll talk about this series first and foremost though, but I love to see Meiko giving a little bit of extra love to Scout. It feels like so long ago now. These two literally were just brothers in arms on EDG. But,